Flames Talk is back again on Flames TV. This is another lovely week, and we have, as usual, an amazing guest who's going to be joining me today. The topic is going to be very controversial, so brace yourself, guys. I have Ogbolo with me today, and we all know who Ogbolo is. He's an actor, a comedian, and an OAP as well.
Thank you for having me. Thank you. Finally, we are here.
Yes, finally. I was watching a video on your page, I think it was last month, where you were pouring your heart out, and you were talking about the mentality of our Nigerian females out there, going about with that mentality that a guy, once they're in a relationship, they're entitled to some form of remuneration. Relationship these days have somewhat become very transactional. People will see you on this show and they'll be thinking, we want to talk about your career as an actor and all that, but no, we're going to be talking about something entirely different. We're talking about, should a woman be given money in a relationship? So before we go there, what prompted that video?
I was listening to something on the radio, and that was what prompted it. I think a conversation, if I can remember, a conversation I heard on the radio. As an OAP myself, I like to listen to other radio shows. So I think it was a Sunday or something. I can't really remember everything. But I think a lady came on radio and was saying that she had an amazing boyfriend, but the guy is selfish, and that's the reason why she doesn't think she'll continue the relationship, just because the guy is selfish. So the OAP was like, what do you mean selfish? And all that talk just started. But for me, it was more about why this feeling of entitlement. If you have a good man, but then to you, he has to be dropping money. For me, that was just an issue. That doesn't make me selfish. That doesn't mean that I'm not one who probably, take care of my woman. But I just felt like, don't be like, say everybody now, you must end that bar. You must put money on the table before this relationship thing, So it felt more like relationships now have become transactional. It has to be money in place of emotions and all of that. So that's what really prompted that video from.
Before now, let me say 5 to 10 years ago, it wasn't this bad. It was there, but not this bad.
Yeah.
What would you say made the relationship life of people to degenerate to being transactional? Could it be that the system, the society, people are struggling to survive? So therefore, people no longer go for love. They put love aside and then they focus on what they tend to gain from the relationship. You start talking to a girl, a lady, and she's asking you, what do you do? Before any other thing, that's the most important question to her. What do you do? Why is it so? What do you think is the reason for this?
For me, it has been both positive and negative reasons have brought a lot of women there. All right. Like you mentioned, society right now, society is tough, and women naturally love comfort. Women naturally want to feel secure, So it is something that must be provided by a man for a woman, to a woman. When you're thinking of dating and getting married, you should be thinking security for her, thinking to provide for her, to take care of her, basically. That's a man's responsibility. But over time, our fathers, so many of our fathers made mistakes, weren't so okay with, their finances, so their families suffered. So you had ladies who grew up in homes where they had suffered and said, man, I will never suffer again. I cannot marry a man again that cannot provide because I saw my parents suffer. I know my mother went through. Some of these fathers absconded, and the mothers went through stuff. So that in the mind of some ladies, has already put them in hustle mode. You get? So something negative happened to them, but now it has also made them, some of them now think, to make any form of relationship transactional, I don't want to suffer. Some other ladies, it made them work harder and then they began to make their own money. So that has also brought some people there. Society too, like I said earlier, things are going bizarre in society right now. So people are hungry. So now hunger is what is pushing people. So for some ladies right now see a relationship with a man as, an escape from poverty. At the same time, I think lost for money, lost for some things you've seen on social media. There's a life out there that you've seen on TV and you just want this type of life, so it is also like we'll say long truth, for certain kind of lifestyle that you refuse to probably give to yourself from hard work, but you rather just, see any type of relationship as a means to that end, so it's different things. Some people have had relationships that they've been dedicated to, with another guy, but the guy too took them through that relationship, took them through a path of suffering again, so for some of them, they've said, I cannot even date a guy right now who cannot do XYZ. A lot of ladies are very hardworking. What some of them just want is a guy who is on that level of hard work or higher. You understand? So there are those who are actually clamoring for this thing from the good place in their hearts. While some others are almost just I not think I cannot suffer again. However it comes, it comes, so it has led so many to just do wrong things. So some people have just also become some type of way, which is really not working for many. It has, though for some of them, like I said earlier, they're coming from a poverty background. And now for them, it's a case of, okay, let me work hard and make my own money, which for me, I think is what it's supposed to be. I have quite a number of female friends who are making their own money and are not really perturbed about if the guy is making millions. Yes, it has to be working. So there's a poverty of the mind, and it has really affected so many other things down to relationships. But at the same time, one also needs to be careful. How you're allowing these things now change you and which is making you become as a woman. Is it making you more desperate, or is it making you a better person? Because I think that this thing somehow, society right now has grown the number of very strong women, independent women. They are doing so well in business. They are making their own money. At the same time, they're still very level-headed. They are not everywhere being sarcastic and being, some type of way. At the same time, they're still open for regular relationships. So they have their money, but they are still open for regular relationships. And if we are going on a date, they don't even mind, adding. Let me say this. One of my most serious relationships, when myself and the babe, when we're just being friends, I had not asked her out just yet. She just called me one day. I was at work. I was on radio. I just finished from radio, and she just called me and said, "Yo, what's up?" She stays in Ikoyi, Then I was in VI, and then she said, "Yo, how far? What are you doing this afternoon?" And I'm like, nothing much. I'm done with work, but I'll just be around the office for a bit before I leave." And I said, "Okay, let me take you out to lunch." And I was like, "Okay, no problem." And then we went out, to lunch. Now I can't feel like the babe because she wanted to pay. You get. But then we got there, but of course I had my money. I was not planning to allow her pay. You get. But I loved the gesture. I loved the fact that she took charge from our friendship stage. You get. And then we went. Funny thing is, when we got there, I think she had budgeted maybe a 12K or 10K. Now we go chop. You get. But then the money shot up to about 25,000 or something. And then I could see that she was already like, okay, so I said, don't worry, I'll pay, I'll pay, and then I paid for the meal. And then she was like, oh, I'm very sorry. But I told her, I said, look, the fact that you did this makes me take you very seriously. It says a lot about you as a woman. Exactly. And throughout that relationship, I made sure I took care of her and all of that. But that first gesture said a lot. In fact, for my birthday, she did something else again. So for me, it became like a competition. We started to try to outdo each other. You get. So I think that at the end of the day, one needs to be very careful as well. There are certain human beings out there that one should not go and date. You say who define woman as guy. Just don't go and meet some type of women. That's it.
What are the attributes of this kind of women? Where person supposed to see run?
There are different types of women out. There are some who would naturally tell you, look, they're out for the big boys. who are making mad money, either legit money or non-legit money or whatever. These are the guys in the Banana Islands. These are the guys who own houses in Lekki Phase 1. These are the guys who are living in choice houses, driving choice cars, and have choice friends. They are traveling and coming. They can go to Dubai just to go and charge their phones and come back. There's some ladies who tell you this is what they are called for in this life. They are not here to suffer anything of anybody. My brother, please, if you know you cannot take care of that lifestyle, just waka leave them. Don't abuse them. Don't badmouth them. They've chosen it for themselves. You self, look away. There are some other ladies who are also doing well, and you at your own level, you are doing well. I mean, you may not be like those guys that I mentioned earlier, but you are doing fine at your level. There are ladies who will stay with you at that level, and you will have a wonderful relationship. Sometimes those other bigger girls look flashy. They look like men, and some guys like flashy ladies. So you leave your level and go to start to hustle these flashy girls that you cannot even. For every guy at the level where you did for this life, just find someone at your level. And we all know that there are different levels. Let us even try to act as if we all know. Just look for someone at your level. It's same thing the other way too. For ladies too who want to date someone within before they turn you to furniture for house. Because some ladies don't know that sometimes when you marry some guys who have all the money, they basically bought you. And so you may not have some type of say, you get, but at the end of the day, we're talking guy to women now. So, but guys, just avoid ladies like that, and ladies who talk a certain way. They say it. Sometimes people don't hide these things. You are not just listening because you are carried away by emotions. Sometimes keep your emotions aside and let your brain, drive you. Is this what I want? I ended a relationship like that one time because I started to realize that she was more of the materialistic. I've been with several women, plenty. I can tell from discussions where this one is, and if this one can work, fine. If it cannot work, I move. You understand? So I think that guys should just be listen when they are talking. Look at their lifestyle too. Can you tell what they do? There's some ladies you can't really tell what they do, but they live in choice areas. They are spending some type of monies and everything, but you can't see what their business is.
Now, there are processes to everything, inclusive of relationship. Now you get into a relationship and you want to get into a relationship with someone, okay? And then with the ideology that we already have now, society and all, that most times relationship is transactional. And you're not going there to just have fun. You're going there to take it serious, to take it to the next level with that person. And you don't know what they are thinking. So how can a guy now at this point identify a woman who is there to go the extra mile with him, to be on the same wavelength with him? Not that she just wants to eat his money. At what point does he start spending that money? Should he put it forward on the first date that, hey, I have money to spend? Or should it be a bit more subtle?
The way that always worked for me. Okay, fine. For example, I'm a popular person. Sometimes exactly. I like to meet ladies who don't know how popular I am. I rather meet you at that level, and then we're just vibing, and you see, first it has to first be friendship. It has to first be friendship. When you meet someone, it's not necessarily about just the container. There's something inside the person. There's something the person has within that is more of the person than who you see. But how do you meet that person within to know if this one has to stay, or this one will just come on just one play for months? Sometimes you may not necessarily be able to tell. Some people can pretend. There's some people who even try, some ladies who even try to change. Okay, maybe they try change, but they never really change the change finish. So when they don't follow you the dates now, next thing, their real behavior will now come back in and they scatter everything. So for a guy, I would say first things first. Don't go putting money everywhere. Don't go doing that. But then at the same time, have conversations, good conversations with that lady. I love sitting, and if I can meet you mentally, that is it for me. If we can meet at an intelligent level. The way I say to people most of the time when I'm having some counseling session and all of that is like, I tell them, I say, look, if you met a guy in the dark, or as a guy you met a lady in the dark, both of them are not on a level. You don't know what this guy looks like or what the lady looks like. You don't know what car he drives or what car she drives or where he stays or whatever. And then both of you can have a good conversation in the dark. Will you fall in love with the person's mind? Because most of the time we are about physical stuff, and that from physical stuff we start to, place the person, whether we will like this person or not, and all of that. So I would say for any guy, don't put money forward. Try to get to speak with the lady, be a friend to her first. It's at that place of friendship that you can tell some things. You know if this person is a rude person. You know if this person talks anyhow. You know this person will curse your mama one day. You can tell if this person, man, is just here to come and take. Because aside from finances, some people are just in relationships to just come and take from the next person. Some people are just there to take affection, to just receive. They're not ready to give. But if you are lost emotionally, you may not see it because you are trying to also impress. So you end up giving, and you're not getting nothing. All right. So it should be a balance, really. So with the whole money thing, money can start to come in later, and it would not also be spending anyhow. There are levels to these things. If it's not a relationship, there's only as much as you can do. Even in a relationship, there's as much as you can do. This person is not yet a person you've paid, the dowry for, or who has accepted to be your partner for life, So at a relationship level, nobody's entitled. You understand? Nobody is entitled to anything. As a lady, if you choose to go to your boyfriend's house to go wash his clothes or cook for him, it's something you do out of how you feel for the person. It's not his right to have it. At the same time, for you, the lady, if the guy is spending some kind of monies on you, it's not your right. He's doing it because he loves you, but it's not an entitlement thing. But then when you get into marriage, then you've made vows to promise to take care of this person, to protect this person. Now you've made vows, I don't swear oaths, basically, you get. And now it is your duty to make sure that this person's rights, the person is entitled to being protected by you, provided for, and you have to provide for the person. The same way, but I say for guys, just make sure you take care of your girl,
That brings me to the final and the big question. Should a woman be giving money in a relationship? Money, be it form of salary, be it form of whatever, but should a woman be paid to be in a relationship? Because some people say that when they pay my boyfriend's salary, he takes out a fraction from it and pays it to me. Is that necessary?
It's still based on choice, but it's not an entitlement. You understand? Any guy who is giving his woman allowances on a monthly basis, you chose to do it, but that is not a norm. It is not stated that this must be how these things must be. But if it's in marriage, fine, but in a relationship, I don't think a woman, no, make your own money too now. Yo, how far? And I'm actually in your life to also see that you grow as well, while you're actually checking that I grow too. Because the more growth I also have, it means that there will be more money, that you can also chop as the woman. So I don't think that it's anything, it shouldn't be a must. Why? We are dating, you understand? Then when we've got to that level where I now see that, look, I need this woman in my life. I've seen women who have gotten into a guy's life and they were not about the money. They were there about, they were in the guy's life to see the guy grow. And they literally made sure that this guy grew, and he grew, because it's a grace a woman carries. Even the Bible talks himself, that when the woman will bring favor into the man's life. Either way, I don't think it's a must that a man should put money on ground. Take care of some things, yes, handle your business. You get, if she needs some money for stuff, give her money. If we're going to see the movies, that you take charge of that. On other days too, she can decide to do it. I've been lucky, I've not met this kind of women who are always wanting some type of alawi month. I've met very good women who are making their own money, and we are all just vibing with each other. She's giving, I'm giving, she's giving, I'm giving, she's giving, I'm giving. And I think that is the beauty of relationships. It is not but as a guy, if you decide to do it, it's no problem, but women don't feel that is the norm. It is not the norm. Everyone should just put in work to become better. Okay, just make sure you continue being better. I mean, you and I, for example, we're long way, this more than 10 years now. You're still doing your thing. I still do my thing. You know, nobody dey sleep. You understand? So just continue putting in work. Find ways to become better. Find ways to rebrand yourself. You know, every year phone they come out with a newer version, an improved version. May you say be like the phone. You know, always come up with a new version of yourself. Always try to give more to yourself. Read more. Know more. Have good conversations with people that can also help you become better. If your friendships are not helping you, change friends, man. If your location is not helping you, change location. I did all of these things and that's worked for me in life. So that's it.